What's going on? It's Taisophon, and I'm coming at you guys with another video. I wanted to talk about 3 things that I really liked about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth so far. At the time of this recording, I have reached the Costa del Sol area, so I'll be going off of everything that I've experienced up until that point. So let's get into it. 3 things that I like about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth so far. Number 1, Queen's Blood. Queen's Blood is the most fun I've had with a Final Fantasy minigame since Blitzball from Final Fantasy X. Yes, I said Blitzball. Blitzball was a fun minigame. Something about building your deck of cards and playing against NPC characters over and over again until you figure out how the game is played and what your strategy is going to be was intriguing in my opinion. It also helps that every player you play against has a different deck of cards and a different strategy compared to other players, meaning that not every player can be beaten with the same strategy that you use on a previous player. I think this is good for the minigame's longevity because it helps Queen's Blood feel refreshing to play, knowing that you have to figure out how to counter and how to conquer the board before your opponent does, so that they don't get more points than you. Trust me, if you get into it enough, you'll rack up hours playing this minigame against NPCs. And I'm not gonna lie, I think Square should create an online mode for this so people can play against each other competitively. It's just that fun. Number 2, synergy skills and abilities. Synergy skills and abilities are my favorite thing added to the combat system in this game because they give the player another way to build ATB up without having to use the same old boring melee combos 24/7. It also makes party members team up with each other to perform cool looking close range and far range attacks with one another. This gives you the chance to reap the benefits of both characters' stats, passives, and elemental affinities without having to switch to them manually. It motivates you to use your ATB gauge more sufficiently because, unlike synergy skills, synergy abilities require you to use your ATB abilities a certain amount of time to activate them. When you use a bar of ATB, it fills up your synergy gauge. Because of this, I find myself not being afraid to waste ATB on buffs and other abilities because I know I'm going to benefit from it by building up my synergy gauge to get access to powerful team combination moves. All of this makes the combat in the game feel a lot more fleshed out compared to Final Fantasy VII Remake. Out of all these synergy skills I've obtained so far, I would have to say that Counter-Strike is my favorite skill to use. It feels good to do a perfectly timed Counter-Strike and be able to follow up with an attack afterwards. It's pretty satisfying. And last, number 3, the open world exploration. Coming off of Final Fantasy VII Remake where the game was linear, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth killed it when it came to exploration. There's no more walking down straight hallways anymore. This game gives you a whole open world experience with an extra large map you can explore with a bunch of secret locations with valuable treasures to find in them. You also find certain side characters to complete missions with, like Kyrie, Beck's gang, and Bill from the Chocobo Ranch, you name it. Along the way, you come across Chocobo stops where you gain golden plumes, which you can spend to get cool items for your Chocobo. Completing errands and collecting data for Chadley also requires you to travel across the map to different locations to beat specific enemies and find certain landscapes. Pretty much the exploring in this game isn't boring because it gives you a lot of stuff to do in it, and you also get rewarded for doing so. It helps it not feel tedious and like a chore. These are my top 3 things that I liked about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth so far. In the comments section down below, let me know some of the things that stood out to you and some of the things that you really enjoyed about this game compared to the last game. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you want to keep up with more of my videos, hit the subscribe button. This has been Taisophon, and I'm out, people. Later.